All right. Welcome to Here's to the Rubble, episode 30. Joined by Steve, as mostly always.
It's been a while, though.
It has
really
been a while.
Yeah.
We recorded the Thresher episode, late December?
I think so.
And
was that the last one we did together, too?
No, because we got the other one that we still got to upload, episode 29.
Right, yeah, the Spotify Wrapped, yeah.
Oh, no. The one we did after Thresher that still hasn't gone up yet.
Man, I don't even remember doing that, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
What did we talk about?
I don't know.
That's fine. We'll figure something to talk about today that isn't that.
But before we really get into any music shit, I guess we should give updates on why we don't upload.
Yeah. So, do you want to go first with that, or should I?
I can go first. So pretty much overall, mine and Steve's schedule just hasn't been lining up in any way.
In fact, it's been like
the exact
worst
opposite.
Possible. Yeah. Like I'm free like in the mornings or whatever, and then RJ is working like night shifts, and then because we're in two different time zones also, like that makes it even more complicated. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm free late at night, and RJ's like, no, I'm in the middle of a shift during that.
Yeah. But I'm starting to get a more consistent schedule. So I will at least start knowing what days I'm free. Ahead of time.
That'll be good.
And yeah, so pretty much the main reason I haven't been able to record is because I work at a fast food place, which in other words is hell.
Fair.
And obviously, Steve, you can talk. You got school, your band, all sorts of shit going on.
I got a lot of stuff. So as RJ mentioned, I'm a full-time student. I'm taking like 6 courses right now, which is a lot.
That's more than 5.
It is, yeah. And on top of that, I've also been doing a lot of stuff with my band recently. I've kind of taken over like not like managerial position, but I've been sending a lot of emails to the point where it's taking up a lot of my time doing that. And then I've been writing stuff for the band, and we've been practicing because we have shows coming up. If you're in Edmonton and you're listening to this right now, depending on when this comes out, come see us. We're playing at the Aviary March 25th, and hopefully this will come up before St. Patrick's Day, which is March 17th, a Thursday. We're playing at Polar Park. I'm super excited. It's an amazing venue. So is the Aviary, obviously. But I was just at Polar Park like last week, and I don't know, I'm just really excited about it. Yeah, and we're also recording an album right now. So that's... I guess
big news right there.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have announced it. We're recording songs. I think I've talked about that before, but yeah, we think we do have enough for a full album.
I kind of live my life assuming every band is currently writing an album. So I feel like it's not that much of a spoiler.
That's true. It's true. And it's not huge. I didn't like, it's not like I'm naming all the tracks or playing them right now.
You're working on a release, we'll say.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
which I'm very excited for.
I'm so stoked for everyone to hear it. I keep on doing this thing where I get a rough mix back from our drummer Tanner, who's also like our mixing guy, audio engineer of some kind. I don't know what else to call that. He's amazing. I love him so much. He works so hard. But he'll send like a rough mix and be like, "What do you guys think of this?" And I'll listen to it. I'm like, "This is amazing, and I love it, and it's great." And then I send it to like the Here's the Rubble group chat, and then I unsend it a minute later because I'm like, "No, I'm not allowed to do this. I'm not allowed." Because Tanner yelled at me. I posted a video of one of our songs, the first one that got mixed, to my story, like on Snapchat, and I accidentally tagged him. Like I this is stupid. I captioned it like, "Check this out before @Tanner hears it and tells me to take it down." And then since it tagged him, it sent him a message. So like 10 minutes later, he messages me like, "Take that shit down right now."
That's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been really busy with that shit. And then I've been playing, there's these things called rep juries that we do at McEwen. For what they are basically is you have to put a band together and you have to play you have to play a few songs to prove that you can play songs and you can put a band together, essentially is what it is. Right. And I've had quite a few people asking me to play bass for them, so I'm going to be pretty busy for the next month or so. So we're going to see if we can work around that. or not. We're gonna try to. We might end up having to do more short episodes like this, or we're just getting a little more Jalen on the mic, which I don't think is ever a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about next. You're going to probably see
Right
some changes in the podcast. We might start doing more episodes where me and Steve aren't together. Steve will talk to some Edmonton bands most likely.
Yes.
And I'll try and talk to any bands.
Anyone will sit down with them.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, we'll probably have Jalen coming on a lot more in the future. We'll still try and do as many episodes as we can with me and Steve, just because at least I can say I enjoy recording episodes with you, Steve.
Oh, we'll talk about this off mic. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think we're better working as a team, but I don't think it's impossible for us to exist on our own.
Right. But
sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
But yeah, so pretty much in the future, we're going to try and upload more episodes, but the episodes might be formatted slightly different. Based on if it's me or Steve hosting, and
yeah,
it will be probably me or Steve hosting for a few episodes.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe maybe you guys will like this more. Maybe you'll hate it. Either way, let us know. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, things are going to be a little bit different for a little bit, and we hope that you stick with it and enjoy it. And if not,
we just want
good riddance. Fuck you.
We just want all of the kids to know that it's not your fault, and we're not splitting up. We're just taking some time away from each other.
And maybe if you had done your homework and cleaned your fucking room, this wouldn't be happening. But
every damn day I come home and the dishes aren't done.
I do so much for you, and you can't just clean up a little bit. Okay, that's fine.
But with the housekeeping out of the way, I suppose we can get into some music stuff. You want to talk about what you've been listening to, Steve?
Dude, okay. So, I've been listening to a lot of cool stuff, but Edmonton has finally, or Alberta at least, has decided that COVID doesn't exist anymore. Whether it does or it doesn't, who's to say? But the really awesome side effect of that, or I guess result, not side effect, has been that live shows are back. So I've been seeing bands again, baby. Last Thursday, I went to Polar Park Brewing Company here in Edmonton, which is probably one of the coolest live music venues in Edmonton. It's crazy. The guy who books it, Dexter, is from this band Medical Pilot, who's insane. And apparently, I don't know, this is just what I've heard, that since he took over his booking, it's become like the place to play in Edmonton. Awesome. Which I would believe, because I've been there a couple times, and every time it's a crazy show with amazing bands. The stage is so good. Like, the beer is great there because it's a brewery. And just the building is amazing in general. But anyway, I went and I saw some just insane, just such fantastic bands. Opening up the night was my good friend Esther Forseth, who I actually, it's funny, Tanner, the drummer in my band, Misfortune Tellers, he and I used to play with Esther originally when we kind of had a band together where we were sort of writing stuff very similar to what she ended up doing. Right. So it was funny because Tanner and I were both like watching her up on stage being like just amazing and killing it with this band, and he looks over at me, he's like, you ever think about how that could have been us? And I'm like, Tanner, every day every day I think of it. But actually she replaced me. No, that's not true, she didn't replace me, but playing bass for her was actually Jessica, who is the bass player and other singer in my band too.
Oh, so awesome.
Yeah, it's a small world. But they just absolutely killed it. Her stuff is so interesting. It's like, I'm not sure what genre to call it. She takes a lot of influence from like, oh man, I was just talking about this with her the other day. I should know this. I think like Feist is one of the big names she said, and then like Lord. I think there's a little bit of Phoebe Bridgers in there too. But her stuff is really interesting. It's like, it's so atmospheric, and she uses like interesting like compound meters and time signatures and stuff like that. So everything feels like it has a really interesting feel to it, but never once are you not just sitting right in it. Like the band is amazing. Like on the drums, is this guy Reed Contreras Wolf. I don't think I'm pronouncing his last name right, which is embarrassing because we're both Filipino, so I should know how to do that. But I actually also used to be in a band with Reed, and he holds it down. He's great. He's fantastic. And then on guitar is another friend of mine, Morgan. She is crazy. Morgan Hannah. I guess I realized I said everyone's last names except for no, I didn't say Jessica's last name either. It's fine. She doesn't get one. Don't worry
she doesn't get a last name. It's just Jessica.
No, just Jessica. Yeah, it's like Beyonce, except lamer. But yeah, like they were just so tight together, and Esther's songs are just like amazing. So that was so great. And then up after that was Honey Ham Jam, who I've definitely talked about on here before, but it's been a little bit since I have. And they have like a slightly different lineup. Like it's my buddy Cam, who I also used to be in a band with. Man, that's just really that's kind of a theme here. Anyway, yeah, so he like he's the guitar player, and he kind of like put the band together. And then Wen is the bass player, who's just absolutely insane. Neon on the drums, great guy, just great drummer. And then more recently, they've added a fourth person to the band, Anthony Prakash, aka A Cruisin', which is his rap name, who is like now the front man who raps and plays saxophone with them, and it is just killer, dude. The energy is just amazing.
That's dope.
And since they added Anthony to the band, they've been writing stuff too. So at some point, we might get some like actual releases from Honey Ham Jam, which would be amazing because their live show is so good. Like this was just like, I'll get into it a little bit more later when I get to like the final band who was headlining Sour, but like it was just like so great, dude. Everyone was jumping up and down and bouncing. The energy was amazing. People were dancing. It ruled. And I'm used to like, little rockier shows where it's like, it's more of a mosh thing, but like it was cool just like seeing people like freaking out because Anthony was rapping like Starships by Nicki Minaj, and like all these girls were like dancing and having a great time, and I was just looking around and I was like, dude, this is a great vibe. Like everyone lost their shit when Anthony started that. It was awesome. He's got some stuff on Spotify too that people should check out. Let me just pull it up real quick. He's got a song with this other guy, Nick
also,
Lang.
just send the link to the group chat when you do that.
Right, I'll do that. Yeah,
because we'll throw it in the description.
Yeah, he's got the song called Hype Man. Yeah, with Nick Lang. I'll send it to the group chat, but it's good. It's good stuff. He has another one that he put up more recently. I forget what it's called. Sorry, Anthony. But anyway, that was great. And then I'm sorry, we're kind of running out of time, so I'm just gonna speed through it. And then next up was Dane Bjornson, who we might end up having on the podcast pretty soon. Here, we were supposed to have him on a while back, but that was when RJ and I started running into huge scheduling
issues.
Yeah. So I might end up actually talking to him separately, probably with James also, who was a guest
separate but equal.
Before. So, okay, yeah. Well, Dane's white, so it's fine. We can get away with that. Anyway, so weird digression. But yeah, James of Noise Pending, who we've had on the podcast before.
Great guy.
He was part of the band playing the drums. Great guy, great drummer. And then again, my guitar player for Misfortune Tellers, Zach Hassan, was playing with Dane for this gig. And on the bass, they had this dude, Aaron Lofstrand, who is just absolutely amazing. He's part of this band, this local band here called Down to Funk, which is super good.
I love that name.
It's a great name too, right? Yeah. No, I've been meaning to see them. Actually, I haven't gotten to see them live yet, but I've seen like videos of their performances, and they just absolutely kill it. And then yeah, Dane, like the front man, playing the songs that he's written, which are all just really catchy, really fun, and just like, I don't know, well written. Like he's got witty lyrics. He's got like, Dane's a very talented guy, super great front man.
Awesome.
And then last the headlining, last but not least, was Sour, which was an absolutely amazing band. Just so dancey, so fun. Fronted by my friend Miranda, and I believe the interesting thing about Sour, this is the first time I've seen them, but I don't know if it's still the case. But originally, they kind of had a rotating cast for a band. Like it was like basically every gig, Miranda and Angela would bring in new people to be part of the band, and it was really cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
But I don't know if that's going to continue to be the case or not, because the group that they have right now is fantastic. It's too many people to name, so I'm not going to. I'm sorry. But follow them on Instagram. They're so great, and it was just so much fun. Like, I don't know, it was a kind of a first for me to like go to a show, and like normally I feel like, I get really into it because it's like music is intense and I'm having a good time and I'm smiling because of that or whatever. But this, I was like kind of just like bouncing around a little bit, you know what I mean? Like swaying and stuff. And like at one point, see, I'm an old man and my legs were hurting, so I was sitting down in a chair, which I felt very embarrassed about. And this was kind of funny. I look over and I see Dane Bjornsson. He's like in the crowd dancing or whatever. And I see him look at me and he locks eyes and he just points directly at me. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on right now. But he kind of like just raises his eyebrows and then just like gestures like, come on, come over here. And I'm just like, I point at myself and he just like, he nods again and like wide eyes and like gestures for me to come up. And then he kind of just like starts like reeling me over. So I get up and like, he's like, come on. And for a second, it was just like the two of us in the middle of the dance floor dancing or whatever, right? And because I was just like, oh God, like I don't know what I'm going to do. But then like he started bringing in more and more people and everyone started getting into it. And then everyone was just like having killer time. It was awesome.
That's dope.
It was so much fun, man. I'm definitely seeing Sour again next time I get a chance to. Grabbed like, that's another amazing thing about them. Miranda, the lead singer, who, first of all, amazing singer. Second of all, super nice person. She's great. She makes her own like homemade jewelry that's really cool. So they were selling like pins that she made and stuff that were just like really good quality. It was awesome. So I grabbed one of those and like a sticker. But yeah, no, just Sour was great. On top of that, I feel like I've just been talking for 20 minutes, but I'm just going to be quick. On top of that, there's a lot of bands coming to Edmonton pretty soon, so I've got tickets to see like a few of them. I'm getting to see Slaughter Beach Dog, which I'm so fucking excited about.
Yeah,
dude, I love them.
I was listening to some Slaughter Beach Dog just recently, actually.
They're so good. And then who else do I have tickets to see? The OBGMs, RJ.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they're opening for Death from Above 1979. I almost said 1975. 1975 is a different band.
The day before the OBGMs announced their tour,
yeah,
they said that they were going to be announcing something the next day, on Twitter, and just like, I turned on tweet notifications for them, because I knew it was either going to be an album or a tour. And
either way, that'd be great.
Yeah, and as soon as I looked at that tour list, I'm like, oh, Steve's going to one of these shows. I know it.
100%, man.
I know
it. They're Canadian too, right? So it's like, hell yeah.
Bro, they're so sick.
I'm going to be seeing Anti-Flag with Billy Talent.
Oh, shit.
At some point. Yeah, that's going to be kind of cool.
Dude.
They're supposed to play with Pup originally, but Pup couldn't make it because the show was already supposed to have happened. But
Pup
because
Canadian?
of COVID, Pup is Canadian. Yeah.
Okay,
and so is Billy Talent. But so yeah, that ended up getting pushed back. So now the current tour dates for Billy Talent are conflicting with Pup's tour dates that they had planned. So because the show didn't happen when it was supposed to, Anti-Flag is coming in instead, which I think is still pretty cool.
Yeah. Anti-Flag, that's one of those bands that I haven't seen yet, but that's on my bucket list.
That makes sense. Yeah, like, I'm actually really stoked for that.
Every video I've seen of their live shows, just the energy is fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm stoked, man.
They have a tradition at Riot Fest. I guess it's not them, more so Anti-Flag fans, where the fans will set up an Uno game in the pit.
Okay.
They all get like sit down on the ground in the middle of the pit to play Uno.
Dude, I'm bringing a box of cards.
And yeah, that's just one of the sickest things ever.
That's really fucking funny. I hope someone does that. I really hope someone does that.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, you can go ahead. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm taking up all the time. But I have another thing that I'm really excited about. There's this local band here, called Daryl Saves Lives. They're like, they're alt rock, I guess is how they describe themselves. But their stuff is kind of like, so I'm about to get into it. It's kind of emo influenced, some of it, and the reason for that is, so I just recently bought one of their toques because they were selling them, and it rules. I'm really happy with it. But I also this is super lame to talk about this on the cast, but I'm like, yeah, I made friends with their singer Nick. He's a really cool, nice guy. But I just got really excited because we have like all the same like favorite bands. Like we were freaking out about Joyce Manor and Modern Baseball and Slaughter Beach Dog and like Hot Mulligan and all these bands or whatever. So that was really cool. But yeah, I've been listening to more of their stuff recently because I listened to it before and I liked it all, but like basically just since having that conversation with Nick, I'm like, man, I really like this band. I forgot about that because you know how that happens where like a band puts something out and you're like, this is really good, and then you listen to it a bunch at the time and then you kind of forget about it,
yeah,
or it
you
just
like
gets
burn
added
out on
to
it.
not even burn out. It just like gets added to your playlist, and then you listen to so much new stuff after that you kind of
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Forget about it, which I feel like is a problem that you and I definitely have, considering how often we're trying to listen to new stuff.
Yeah, especially like what really sucks is when you're listening to an artist or album that doesn't really fit any like of your playlists. And it's like one of those bands where you're like, all right, well, if I'm going to listen to this band,
like songs or something.
Yeah, and you'll listen to their albums a bunch, but eventually when you get back into listening to playlists, you kind of forget about them for a while.
And that's basically exactly what I did. Like, they put out there's, I guess, a single or EP. I don't know. Yeah, they have the EP Daryl Saves Lives, and they put out another one called When Will It All Be Fine, which had this song Sparkles on it that I think is just like amazing. I kind of talked to Nick about this too. I was like, hey man, not to like be weird or anything, but so he wrote it about like experiences that like because Nick is Asian as well, and this was during like COVID, the beginning of it. There was like a lot of that, you know, Asian hate going on or whatever. He had a friend whose business, I forget exactly what happened, but it was coming under some sort of trouble. So he wrote a song about like, you know, kind of that experience of being like an Asian like person here in Canada, like having like immigrant family and stuff like that, and like just those kinds of struggles. And I just remember listening to that song and just being like, I fucking love my mom so much, dude. Like, so I kind of told him some of that, like when we actually like, when I actually like kind of talked with him a little bit, like when we became buddies, I guess. It's weird just to say that. I'm like, we're friends now or whatever, but I think we are. So I was just trying to not be worried about it, but I'm like, yeah, man, I thought that was really touching. I related with a lot of those experiences and stuff, so I think it was cool. It's a good song, good job, stuff like that. But yeah, I would say definitely listen to that too. It's really good. Anyway,
for sure.
I've been talking for way too long. RJ, what have you been listening to, man?
So I actually recently got a record player. I don't know if I've talked about that on the podcast.
I don't know if you have on the podcast, but you've definitely talked about it with me.
Yo, and I already had some records, but obviously I've been ordering more since there's not a record store in my small bumfuck town. But I actually found an eBay page that sells records, like you get random vinyls or vinyl, I guess is the plural.
Yeah, that's fine.
You get them like by the genre, like randomly for like $5 a piece,
which is super cool.
Yeah. So I ordered like 5 a few weeks ago. They came recently, and I listened to all of them today, actually.
Right, you were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, and I actually enjoyed quite a few of them, if not all of them. To list a few, we got Afgrund and their 2012 album, The Age of Dumb. They've been described as the EU or UN of grindcore.
Okay.
They got members from Italy, Austria, and Ukraine, which is pretty interesting.
To the EU of grindcore.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And yeah, that was definitely just a really sick grindcore album. Fucking
totally.
Can't remember exactly what songs off it I especially liked, but I definitely enjoyed it. I've been getting more into like more heavy shit recently again.
That's good, yeah.
Raised Fist has kind of been pushing me in that direction again.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Another album was Fast Asleep. Their self-titled debut album, also from 2012.
Oh yeah.
And Fast Asleep is actually consists of members from Good Riddance, The Distillers, and All You Can Eat. which are all sick bands that I like, especially the Distillers.
I think I know the Distillers. I'm just trying to figure out like a song by them that I would know off the top of my head, but I don't know if I know.
There's one pretty big song they got, but I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, like I definitely know the name. I'm just looking it up right now while you're talking.
But yeah, like that Fast Asleep don't sound anything like any of those three bands though.
Oh,
Like
really?
you will not hear any Fast Asleep sounding bands on Fat Records or Epitaph Records. And yeah, I don't know, they're just like
my mic stand. Sorry, keep talking.
They're just like 3 times as fast as their other bands.
Oh,
Way more aggressive vocals and a nice big heaping load of thrash thrown in there.
Hell yeah. So what was the like genre that you spent $5 to get? It was just like punk, like
it was like I believe it was listed as like punk hardcore metal.
That makes sense.
Just like
I hate when they lump punk and metal together though.
Yeah. It was
I get it. It's a thing, but
in like the little thing they sent in the package, they specifically referred to it as the heavy music one, which I suppose is fair. Yeah. It's all heavier shit.
I've seen like radio stations, like college stations or whatever, refer to basically anything in that vein as just loud.
Yeah. I hate when people call anything that has yelling vocals screamo. Like that's the most annoying shit. Like just because they're yelling doesn't mean it's screamo.
No, the most annoying shit is screamo. I'm kidding. Some of it's fine.
The next record I got was Hummingbird of Death. Their 2012 album Skullvalanche, which is a pretty sick album name.
Skullvalanche.
And yeah, that shit was super sick. All of these records were meant to be played at 45 RPM, but I think it was specifically the Hummingbird of Death, the Skullvalanche that I played at 33 RPM. Just because they're grindcore, like doom metal, and doom metal's usually, more sludgy and a little bit slower.
Yeah, totally.
So which is contradictory. Well, because
I don't understand how the RPMs work. I don't have a record player.
Because they're like grindcore and doom metal, which are like 2 contradicting genres.
Yeah, it's really weird to be both of those things.
And
it's just like one song is just like really fast, and then the next one just like I don't know. Just stop me.
But yeah, I played at 33 RPM, and I think I obviously haven't listened to it at 45 RPM yet, but I definitely enjoyed it at 33. Made pretty much every track just feel more doomy, sludgy.
That makes sense. Actually, I just realized we're playing a show with a doom metal band on the 25th. Actually.
Oh yeah,
it's my friend Levon's band, Garden of Ash.
Hell
it's their first show ever, so I'm really excited for this.
Right, hell yeah, that's sick.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
The next band is from Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's Noise Ear.
Noise Ear.
Yeah. Fuck. Sorry, I had to grab it. Turbulent Resurgence.
I was like, where'd you go? Is he gone?
Yeah, sorry, I had to grab the record. But yeah, it was their album Turbulent Resurgence.
Cool name.
And that album is so fucking hardcore.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's like 23 songs long, right? And I think maybe 2 or 3 of those songs are more than a minute long. And yeah, I don't know.
Wait, sorry. Say that again.
They've got 23 songs.
23 songs, and of those 23, you said how many are more than a minute long?
A couple, maybe.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. That's how you fit 23 songs.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of rules, though. I have this problem where like all the songs that I write with my band, I'm like, I feel like they're too long. No, that's not true. they always feel good, but then I'm like, man, that was great. That song was awesome. And then we get the recording back and I'm like, 5 minutes?
Yeah. And then the last album, but overall that Noisier record was super fast. Everything you look for in a super fast hardcore band.
Yeah, sounds like.
Yeah, they're from like Albuquerque, New Mexico. I said that, which ain't that where like Walter White was from?
Oh, I was just gonna say that's where Bugs Bunny should have made the left turn at.
All right. But yeah, maybe down in New Mexico they're getting a little enhancements to go that fast.
Oh, gotcha. That's why. I see what you're getting at now. Yeah, yeah. I mean, sure. I wouldn't.
Whatever it takes.
I mean, if it's for the music, man.
You know, the show must go on.
I'm gonna start doing crystal meth. see what that does to the Misfortune Tellers sound.
You know, and the last record was C6. I don't know how to say this. Eschaton, I believe.
Your guess is as good as mine, man.
And they're probably the most just like straight up punk band that I got of these 5 records. They're from New Jersey. And yeah, they're pretty sick. It's like a pretty good mix of just like pure thrash and just hardcore punk. But of the 5, my favorite was probably Fast Asleep or Hummingbird of Death.
Those are both cool ass names.
Right? But yeah, overall, fucking, I'm really happy I found that eBay page. I'm definitely gonna consistently order just random records.
Yeah, just to see. I think that's a really cool like concept.
Yeah, especially because like the whole reason I got a record player is so I can just listen to more music while directly supporting, you know, musicians or musician adjacent people, like, you know, people who own record stores and shit,
community or whatever. Yeah.
And I don't know, this seems to be a pretty A+ way to discover new bands I ain't really heard of before, and just shit like that.
I'm really excited for the next episode. We come back on RJ's like, yeah, I messed up, guys. Sorry, I've been buying records from a murderer, apparently. This guy just kills people and takes their records. That's why they're so cheap.
It's gonna be really crazy when this fucking eBay page just sends me like fucking 5 neo-Nazi metal bands.
Yeah. It's just like, from my personal collection.
Yeah. And that's what it's advertised to, as like the dude's personal collection. And
that's actually so cool.
And he does shit by like every genre and shit. Like he's got, and he does them like more so in like genre like groups, kind of like this one, like, you know, punk, metal.
Right.
I think he had one that was like R&B, soul, and like funk.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
So yeah, I'm just gonna.
I really like the idea of that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so sick. It's just like a grab bag of random music that I'm sure I'm gonna like. I mean, it's music. I like music.
Yeah, music's awesome, man.
Yep.
So, I hate to do this, but I think we should probably cut her a little bit short here, eh?
Yep. Yeah, we should probably wrap up.
All right, awesome. Well, hopefully the next time that you guys hear our voices, they'll be together. If not, though, shut up. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. No, we're gonna have some good stuff coming out pretty soon, hopefully. And if you're in a band and you want to come on here and talk to us,
message us on Instagram, Twitter at Here's to Rubble.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, and
email. You can email me.
Ooh.
You can send me your music. I will listen to it, even if you don't want to come on the podcast. I'll listen to your music if you send it to me.
That's also true. Yeah. If you guys just think there's something we should listen to,
yeah, you got any recommendations?
Yeah, we'll check it out. You know,
so
we're gonna start posting more album reviews and stuff like that on Instagram as well. It's funny, for the amount of albums that both RJ and I listen to, you think that just typing up like an Instagram description on them wouldn't be as much work as it seems to be.
Me and Steve are both kind of dumb
and busy. We're dumb and busy.
But Steve, what social media is Misfortune Tellers on?
Oh, cool. We're on, I think, everything. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I don't run the Twitter account. That's Jessica. I don't think she's tweeted in like 6 months. That's not true. We haven't even had it for 6 months. But yeah, we're on all that stuff. We're at Misfortune Tellers Band on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us in both those places. We're going to be posting some probably more information about the shows coming up and probably some pictures from that and maybe videos. I'm super excited. Like I said, though, we're also recording a bunch of stuff. So maybe, stick around, keep an ear open.
Yeah.
Might hear some stuff you enjoy, hopefully. And if you're in Edmonton and you're listening to this when it comes out, which is hopefully soon, come see us at Polar Park on St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be awesome. Gratuitous Platypus. Oh shit. I didn't even mention this. They're releasing a brand new single that same night, and they're going to be playing stuff from their new album that is not out yet.
Hell yeah.
At that same show. You're not going to want to miss it. Check that shit out. And then the next week, I was just singing Esther's praises earlier. She is going to be playing with us at the Aviary, as well as Garden of Ash with their very first show. It's going to be awesome. Levon is an absolute machine. He's already been selling tickets like crazy. Like, before we even got the physical tickets, he like texts me. He's like, "Hey, how many tickets do we have? Because I've already sold like 50." And I'm like, "How did you do this? how did that happen?" But the guy's insane. Such a great dude. I'm really, really happy to be playing the show with him, and I'm so excited to hear what Garden of Ash has for us. But yeah, come see us. Support your local music scene. Other than us too, there's other great shows going on pretty soon. The 26th, All Was Lost, that band that I was in their music video, and who are like friends of mine, they're playing a show at Polar Park, I believe, on the 26th is when it is, for an EP release for this other band called Gloom, who are also really, really good. I forgot to send you their stuff, RJ, but I should do that. But yeah, no, check it out. It's gonna be awesome.
And
go
also,
to shows. Go support your local music scene.
Yeah, and you can support other local music scenes too. It doesn't even have to just be yours.
That's 100% true. Yeah,
like you don't even have to just live in Edmonton to go to Steve's show. You can live in like Toronto.
Actually, funny enough, Stellar and Tristan were saying that they have friends who are driving up from Lethbridge to come see us on St. Patrick's Day on a Thursday. So if you're driving all the way, Lethbridge is like 3 hours away. If you're going to drive 3 hours to see a band on a Thursday, I will probably buy you a beer because that's pretty awesome. That being said, maybe don't hold me to that. Come to the shows.
Yeah, like he said, full-time college student, so he might not have buy you a beer money.
It's another reason why I want people to come to the shows, so I can have some money.
Yeah. And I don't think I said my email, but Rob at here's to the rubble.com. Pretty simple.
Right. Sweet. I think that's about it.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Follow us and Steve's band.
Yeah.
But
have a good one, everybody. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Later.
Yeah.